Not every toy your dog brings you is a request to play. Sometimes it is excitement. Sometimes it is habit. Sometimes it is your dog trying to stay close without knowing how to say it any other way. And once you learn to read the difference, you stop seeing a toy as an object and start seeing it as a message, because there is more than one kind of toy delivery. Some are playful, some are social, some are regulatory, and one of them may have almost nothing to do with the toy itself. This isn't a diagnosis, but it can help you tell the difference between normal attachment and behavior that may need support. 1. Stop reading the toy. Start reading the dog. Most people make the same mistake. The dog walks over with a toy, and the human immediately assumes the meaning is in the object. Ball means fetch. Rope means tug.
Here you go.
Plush toy means play. But dogs do not communicate with objects alone. They communicate with posture, pace, gaze, tension, and timing. So, the next time your dog brings you something, do one simple thing. Ignore the toy for a second. Watch the body that carried it there. A dog that truly wants action usually looks like action before anything even starts. The front end comes alive. Weight shifts forward. Eyes stay locked in. Movement becomes bouncy, fast, almost contagious. You may see a play bow, a quick dart away, a bark, a spin, or that exaggerated stop-start motion dogs use when they are trying to pull you into momentum. But some dogs arrive very differently. They come in quietly. Their steps slow down as they reach you. Their jaw softens around the toy. Their tail moves lower, easier, without that sharp, high-energy whip. They place the object near you or gently against your leg and then just remain there. That is not the same conversation. The first dog is saying, "Come with me." The second dog may be saying, "Be with me." That difference matters more than most owners realize. 2. A favorite toy is not just a toy. To understand why this behavior can mean so much, you have to understand what that object represents in your dog's world. A favorite toy often carries more than entertainment. It carries familiarity. It carries repeated comfort. It carries memory. It may smell like your dog. It may smell like your home. It may carry traces of the moments your dog felt safe, engaged, or soothed. In many dogs, favorite objects become emotional anchors. Not always, not in every dog, but often enough that the pattern matters. And that changes how we should read the act of bringing it to you. Because animals do not casually share what they value in the same way humans hand around everyday items. When a dog repeatedly approaches you with a preferred object, that can reflect more than impulse. It can reflect trust, social intention, or a learned route into connection. Pay attention to which object they choose. A dog in a burst of excitement may grab the nearest thing available. A dog in a quieter emotional state may seek out one specific toy again and again. That difference can tell you whether the moment is random, energetic, soothing, or relational. Your dog may not be handing you a possession. They may be bringing you something that already feels safe to them and placing it inside the space between you. 3. The doorway version is not just excitement. So one of the clearest versions happens when you come home. You unlock the door, and before you can even settle in, your dog is already searching for something to carry. A tennis ball, a frayed plush toy, a sock they were not supposed to have. Sometimes whatever is closest becomes the offering. At first glance, it looks simple. They are excited. And yes, excitement is part of it. But for many dogs, reunion does more than create happiness. It creates arousal. Their nervous system spikes. Their body floods with energy. That energy needs direction. Some dogs jump, some bark, some spin in circles, some grab objects. That last pattern can actually be useful. The object gives the dog a job to do with the energy that might otherwise explode into chaos. In other words, the toy can become a behavioral outlet, a bridge between emotional overload and social connection. Instead of losing control, the dog organizes itself around carrying something. Instead of scattering, they orient toward you. That is worth noticing, because in many homes, owners accidentally punish this version. They take the toy away abruptly. They scold the dog for grabbing the wrong item. They interpret it as bad manners instead of a self-regulating routine. But often, the dog is doing something quite intelligent. They are managing their own intensity the best way they know how. A practical tip here: if your dog greets you with an object every time you come home, do not rush to shut it down. First, check the rest of the body. If the dog is loose, happy, and quickly settles, this may simply be their ritual for handling excitement. If the dog is frantic, pacing, whining, unable to disengage, or escalating into distress, that is when the pattern deserves closer attention. Same behavior on the surface, very different meaning underneath. 4. The quiet version most people miss. Now here is the version many owners overlook entirely. Nothing dramatic happened. You did not just walk in. No one picked up the leash. No game was already underway. Your dog simply walks over, sets a toy beside you, and stays. No bouncing, no barking, no dramatic stare, no repeated demand, just presence. This is where many people misread the moment. They see the toy and automatically throw it. They turn a quiet social approach into a game the dog may not have asked for. But some dogs are not initiating activity in that moment. They are initiating contact. And because dogs do not use language, they often use the tools available to them: proximity, touch, orientation, and meaningful objects. This kind of approach can function almost like a social check-in. Not entertain me, not make something happen. More like, I want to share space with you right now. You will often see it during calm hours of the day, when you are working, when the house is quiet, when your attention has been elsewhere for a while, when the dog seems emotionally steady, but wants a gentle form of connection. Here is the practical insight most people never test. The next time this happens, do not throw the toy right away. Instead, pause. Look at your dog. Touch them calmly. Speak softly. Give them 20 or 30 seconds of real attention without turning the moment into a game. Then watch what happens. In many cases, the dog relaxes almost immediately. Sometimes they lie down. Sometimes they lean against you. Sometimes they walk away satisfied. That tells you something important. The toy was not the destination. It was the doorway. 5. When they bring it close, but keep control. Not every toy presentation is soft affection. Some are more tactical than that. You know this version. Your dog brings the toy over, drops it near you. You reach for it. They snatch it back, or they hold it just within reach, staring at you like they are running a private experiment. Most people laugh and say the dog is being stubborn or mischievous, but the behavior is often more structured than that. Dogs are excellent observers of consequence. They learn fast which actions trigger attention, movement, eye contact, pursuit, laughter, or voice changes. If placing a toy near you reliably causes you to engage, then the sequence itself becomes rewarding. And if pulling it away adds more excitement, even better. This is not necessarily refusal. It can be interaction design. Your dog may not be saying, "Take this." They may be saying, "Join me like this." That is a different social offer. One dog wants transfer. Another wants chase. Another wants tension and release. Another wants control over the rhythm of the exchange. And once you notice that, you stop labeling everything as affection or everything as play. You start seeing negotiation. That is a more useful lens, because it helps you respond better in real life. If your dog repeatedly brings objects but becomes stiff, guarded, or tense when you touch them, do not romanticize it. That may not be a bonding ritual at all. That may be conflict around possession, over-arousal, or uncertainty. If the dog stays loose, playful, and socially engaged, that is different. Context matters. Body language matters. History matters. Again, the toy is only part of the sentence. 6. The object they bring can reveal the emotional state they are in. Here is a layer many owners never think about. It is not just whether your dog brings something, it is what they bring when they do. Some dogs have a clear, high-energy item, something they grab when they are excited and ready to move. Others have a completely different object they seek out when they are winding down, unsettled, or looking for comfort. You might notice one toy appears during fast greetings and wild play, while another shows up during quiet evenings or storms, or after the house has changed in some way. That pattern is useful because object choice can become part of the emotional map. A dog who always brings the loud rubber ball may be asking for stimulation. A dog who shows up with the old, worn plush toy may be seeking closeness, familiarity, or regulation. A dog who suddenly starts carrying random household items may be telling you arousal has gone up and organization has gone down. This does not mean every object has a fixed emotional label, but repeated patterns are worth respecting. If you start noticing the combination of timing, posture, and object choice, you gain something powerful. You stop reacting mechanically. You start responding accurately. And dogs tend to trust humans more when humans answer the right question. 7. The version that has almost nothing to do with play. Then there is the one that feels different the moment it happens. Not louder, not more dramatic, just different. Maybe you are tired. Maybe you are sick. Maybe you are grieving, stressed, emotionally shut down, or carrying something heavy without showing much on the outside. And your dog walks over with a toy, or a sock, or a slipper, or anything they can carry. But this time, the energy is not asking, it is answering. Dogs can be remarkably sensitive to changes in human state. Research has suggested they can respond to cues linked to human stress and emotional shifts, including signals people may not realize they are giving off yet. Not every dog responds the same way. Not every dog brings an object, but some do. And when they do, it can look less like an invitation and more like an offering. Think about that for a second. When dogs need comfort, many of them go to a familiar object, something they chew, carry, or rest with, something that helps organize their emotions. So when a dog picks up that same object and brings it toward you during a moment when you are not fully yourself, the meaning can feel profound. Not because the dog understands your life the way a human would, not because they know your story in words, but because they notice a shift and they move toward it with the only resources they have. No lecture, no solution, no explanation, just presence, sometimes delivered through a toy. And that may be why this behavior affects people so deeply. Because on some level, it does not feel like the dog is asking for comfort. It feels like the dog is trying to give it. 8. How to tell the difference in real life.
Thank you, boy.
So how do you actually apply this without over-interpreting everything your dog does? Use this simple filter. Look at 4 things. First, energy. Is your dog building momentum or settling near you? Second, body tension. Loose body usually suggests comfort or social intent. Stiffness, freezing, hard staring, or guarded movement can signal something else. Third, timing. Did it happen during reunion, boredom, stress, rest, or after a change in your mood? Fourth, what happens if you do not throw the toy? Does your dog become frustrated and push for action? Or do they relax once they get your attention? That alone will help many owners understand the difference between play solicitation, social bonding, arousal regulation, and a behavior that may need more thoughtful support. Because the goal is not to make every moment sentimental. The goal is to become accurate. And accuracy is one of the deepest forms of care we can give an animal that depends on us to understand signals they never get to put into words. The smallest behaviors are often the easiest to misread. A toy on the floor looks simple. A dog standing quietly beside you looks ordinary. A sock dropped at your feet looks random. Until you learn to see the emotional architecture underneath it. Then suddenly, it is not random at all. It is excitement trying to stay organized. It is attachment trying to make contact. It is learned interaction. It is trust. It is regulation. And sometimes it is a dog moving towards something unspoken in you. So the next time your dog brings you a toy, do not rush past the moment. Read the posture, read the timing, read the softness or the urgency. Read the silence around the object, because sometimes the thing in their mouth is not the message. It is just the way the message found its way to you. And here on Mr. Hidden Mind, that is where the real story always begins.